We've seen so many new urban design or new areas being built in Nantes, in Paris, in all over the world, and every time we have the same, we see the same thing. It could be an area designed anywhere, the same built form, the same materials. It's kind of bleak somehow. Where are the people? What's happening? There's a bit of public realm. There's only one square. Then the streets are the same. There's nothing really interesting, and nobody. When you see in Croatia, for example, or even southern France, you have that grid of buildings, and sometimes you have like one building that steps back a little bit. That would generate a fresh corner with a bench, a tree, and people would just foster there. They would meet there. There would be a spot. There would be a place to live, and then there's a cafe around the corner, and there you go. It's very simple, and that knowledge of what people would do over the last 2 or 3 centuries, like we completely lost that, I think. So now what we're trying to do, I mean, in the new projects that we have, is to build those places with the local people and make sure that it is connected to its context, wider context, like the territory, through different themes. It could be the material, it could be the built form, it could be the economy, what type of housing we could get there, or following the market. It could be according to the environment with the public realm, what kind of trees we would have to get there, how we deal with the rain on the public realm, what type of urban furniture we would get, and then what type of shops too, what type of organization or equipments that will help people to actually take over the city after we left, after we designed it, we deliver the project. If we do that part of designing the thing in the office without really talking to anyone, there's a big risk of not meeting that ambition of having a real city that has become a real place where people could gather and meet, and where life happens. There's a professional oath at the board of architects, like I'm meant to represent the public and design the best we could, to give the best we could for the local communities and the greater public. And we work for the public sector, so we work not for them, we work with them. This is a slight change, I think. The participative process can only work if the local authorities are bearing the system with us. I was like, if they're not there, it doesn't work. If we are on our own, it doesn't work. If they're on their own, they don't have the tools to do it properly. We have larger projects that would have a real impact on the city that are coming up now. There's innovative processes in projects in France, like reinventing cities. And when you look at the scale of those projects, they're really big, and it's all private for that sake. The city steps back from that new planning thing. They are watching, they're giving conditions of developing that, but I'm not really sure legally how they can contain or direct the development or choose the path it will take in the end, or what it will look like. They have a few about the money, and there are a few commissions when the city is big enough. Like the city of Paris, they have a commission that they review all the projects every 6 months, and they can say yes or no, and they find ways legally to stop the project if it goes wrong. The main thing is to go on site, find a bit of money, because we don't live out of water and fresh air, and talk to people and try to identify who would be willing to do something for the area, to say stop, this is enough, like we cannot stand that situation anymore in case of an emergency, and then have fresh ideas. And the process would go on. You talk, you federate people, you structure the debates all the time, and you have a clear in mind, a clear plan of action. I think this is a good start. So before sketching and doing design scheme, tendering, and having an enterprise building it or anything. It's just you start prototyping, and then you have something that would prefigure a new uses on the public realm. This is only temporary, but you have to be experimental and spend a bit of time on site with people and material, and think fast on what you should do, what are the needs and what are the new uses. And once you have people on site starting doing things, it might take a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then like 5 years later you have like something concrete or permanent being installed. I'm not sure you need to go fast. Or let's say the result is, you have a first result when you have people starting to talk and interact on site. This is the beginning of the process, but this is a first result. I mean, you manage to gather people in one spot, one place to become, but this is already, the transformation has begun.